Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I'm working on month 12 of the Thimbleberries 2008 Block of the Month quilt, and it's called Three's Company. And here's the little brochure that came with it, the booklet. So it comes with 3 6-inch blocks and one 12-inch block. These are the instructions. So today we're going to make this block. So I've already got it finished here, and I videotaped the process. So that will come up next. I did want to tell you that we are, let's see, this is the week before Thanksgiving. It's the Thursday before Thanksgiving, so we just have a week till Thanksgiving. Just an update on our house. The hardwood floor is going to go in starting on Monday. They've got 3 days scheduled to put that in. They've already delivered the material, and we've been pushing really hard to get this house to the point where we can move in by the end of the year, and I think we are going to be able to do that. But in order to do that, we've been working really hard, and there's very little time to do anything but go to our jobs, our day jobs, and then work at the house. So that's why videos are coming spread out. I'm not getting one done a week, and I don't know that I'm going to get any more done before the end of the year, because we're still trying to finish up the tile floor in the bathrooms, which we're doing ourselves, and I need to tile the shower. The countertops need to be stained and varnished and installed, and we're doing that. And I think the interior doors also need to be stained and varnished and installed. So all of that needs to be done before we can move in. And the plumber has to finish his finish work, so he needs to get water. Well, there is water to the house, but it just shut off because there's no place for it to go. I mean, he's got the rough-in plumbing done, but he needs to install all the sinks and the vanities, and the tubs in the shower are in. The tub and the showers are in, but you know, the part that makes them usable is not in yet. So he's got to finish that up before we can move in. So we're hoping we've got 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks to get all that done. And then we got to pack up this rental house and get moved in, and we got to clean this house real good before we turn over the keys. So a lot to do, and very little time. So I don't know if I'll get another video out until January or so. So, but you know, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, this video is more about this block here than about my moving woes and my new house project. So, anyway, just wanted to let you know an update on the house, and stay tuned, and I'll show you how I made this block. All right, I am ready to work on block 12, or month 12 of Thimbleberries 2008 Block of the Month. The quilt is called Three's Company, and I'm working on the large block again. So this is a fairly easy block to do, and I have all my pieces cut. I've got them all right here, and I'm going to start with, let's see, we're going to use the 2.5-inch squares of both the green and the red. So I need 2 reds and a green, and we're going to alternate the colors. So the green will be in the center, and then the 2 reds will be on the outside. And I'm going to press the seams towards the red when we get done with that. So that's the first step in the instructions. So another red here. And these fabrics don't have a direction, so I don't need to worry about that. And then I'm pressed towards the red. Okay, so we have that section. And then we're going to sew the 1.5 inch squares. We have some green ones and some beige ones, and we're going to make 4 patch units out of these. So we're going to alternate those, and we need to make 4 patch units. So I'm going to sew them 2 at a time. So I'll have 2 patches, and then I'll press and sew those 2 patches together. Okay, so I have all these little 2 patches, and I need to sew them together, and I'm just going to alternate the colors and sew these into 4 patches. Okay, so here are the 4 patches. So we have those. And now we need to sew 2 of these to one of the red squares, and I'm following the diagram on how these are supposed to go. So for placement of the colors on that 4 patch. Okay, so here's one of the sections. And then the other one is going to mirror image this. Okay, so here's the other one. So we've got them. they're go this way. Okay, so they're mirror imaged when you hold them this way. Let's see with the colors. Okay, now we need to make some flying geese. So we have some large background rectangles, and we have some large of these red squares. And so I'm going to need to draw a diagonal line, or not on these, on the red squares. Okay, I'm going to sew on the drawn line. going to trim this out a corner, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, and I'm going to press these triangles back. And on the side, sew the rest of the squares to make the flying geese. Okay, these 4 patch units and this, I need to sew these together, and we want the greens pointing towards the center. So would be like this. So the little green squares are going to line up with the center here with the green. I don't know how to explain that very well, but I'm just following the diagram, and the little green squares go towards the center of the green square in the center strip. See, what I'm doing is, this is the center, well, this is the center strip here. And these little green squares need to match up to the corner of this one. So we've got that. And then I need to turn this one the same way. Okay, so this is what we have. And now I need to fly. Now I need to sew flying geese to each side, and the goose part is going towards the center section here. So not the background of the flying geese, the main body of the flying geese. Okay, so here's that section, and now I need to make half square triangles out of the backgrounds and the green squares. So put those right sides together and sew a 1/4 inch away from the drawn line on the background square. So I'm going to cut on the drawn line, and we'll have 4 half square triangles here. And then need to press these open. Okay, so here are all the half square triangles. And I'm going to trim off the dog ears. Alrighty. Okay. Now I need to take the other 2 flying geese units. We have 2 of these. And turn this way, and we're going to put one this way, and then this one will go like this. So I'm going to go ahead and lay those out. Okay, and there's the other one. And now we have to sew these on to the center. So the points are going to go in. Yeah. So I always want to put the points out, so it'll make a star, but we're not making a star with this block. This one is not a star. So let me press these seams the opposite direction. It'll go together easier that way. I'm trying to get my seams pressed the way that makes this go together easier, so I can nest my seams. And we're gonna pin the seams. And I think I'm going to turn this over and put the flying geese on the bottom, because there's a little bit of fullness in there. So, and turn the pins the other direction. So here we have the completed block. So I'll adjust the camera and we'll look at it closer. Okay, here is the finished block. So it wasn't difficult, just have some 4-patch units that were sewn into a 9-patch flying geese half square triangles. So depending on how you place each unit, you know, you can get a different look. So like if you flip these so that the background was facing out, then you'd have a star. And you can flip this whatever way you want. But I think it's an interesting block. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.